Hello.
Hey
Hello.
everyone.
Oh my
Hello.
God. Michael Salomon. I didn't know you were going to be here. That's not fair. You
Hello.
You did invite me.
you didn't give me prior notice. I have no idea. Um, Hi Peter, another Michael, Ava, Stephen, Aaron. More people will be joining us. Sherry. Oh, funny. Sorry, I was mute for some reason. Hello, Azula de la Cruz with the best name ever. Yes. Uh, I wrote you yesterday. Hi, Lisa, Sherry, everyone. So we will start in a couple of minutes, just a minute to let more people in. I know it's a bit strange to be in a Zoom call where you don't know anyone. I know it's not the usual Zoom situation. Usually in Zoom, it's either a webinar where you only see the speaker, or you have a meeting with friends or colleagues. It's, I think, relatively rare to be in a Zoom call where you don't know anyone. So hopefully we'll know each other a little bit in the next hour. If you want, please use the chat at the bottom to just say your name if you want and where you are in the world. It's nice to see people's very varied locations. We've had people, I think, from 140 countries in the last 3 or 4 days showing up, which has been wonderful. And now we'll see here. Let's see, Chicago, New York. You're muted, said Ami. Yes. Vermont, Baltimore. Okay, yes. Colorado, New Hampshire. Tunisia. Okay. Thank you, Nigeria. Gambia. Okay, I think you're first in Gambia this week. Colombia. Buenas tardes. Egypt. Salam alaikum. Nigeria. Okay, we will be able to start soon. Thank you all for being here. So, my name is Ami. I think you've probably guessed that. We will go for an hour. I hope that's okay. Sometimes Zoom doesn't let you know how long a meeting will last. If you need to leave before, please feel free to, but we'll go for about an hour. I'll talk a little bit and then I'll share my screen for just a little bit. And then we'll have time for questions and comments and anything else that people want to talk about. There are about 90 people here right now. There'll be more, I think, as we keep going. Some people show their faces, some people don't, but thank you all for being here. I'm sorry, we're muting all of you because if we put all the mics on, you're going to hear ambulances and cars and all kinds of typing and things. So we'll mute you for now, and then later we'll have a conversation and let people. My colleague Matthew Chavez here will turn people's mics on. So thank you all for being here. This is, I think, the fifth one we're doing this week. We started on Tuesday morning and have gone on, I think, like 5 times now. It's been truly fantastic. But I don't want to say anything because you'll judge after an hour how it goes. Maybe this one will be terrible. I have no idea. I don't think so. But thank you all for being here. I hope you can hear me okay. At the bottom of your screen, you have that chat. On the right, there's a thing that says Q&A. I hope you can all see that. When we open for questions later, please use the Q&A for any questions you may have. Otherwise, you're going to get lost in the chat. Okay? Hello, Marian. Welcome back. So that is that piece. Yeah, so I think you're all here because I sent most of you, some of you got an email before. You got an email on Thursday or Friday in most cases, inviting you to basically sign up for an initiative that we're launching now. I think the subject line said that we're looking for 1,000 volunteers to launch this around the world. About 8,000 people got back to us this week from that, which has been wonderful. It's 8,000 people from 142 countries, I think, which has been sort of fantastic. And we haven't even done Spanish yet. This went out only in English. There's a Spanish version going out next week to a couple 100,000 people. So that will also get us more people from there. And that's where we are now. And so one of the first things that we did was invite you to be able to actually see you and hear you and say a little bit more. To get a little bit first on the same page on this, just for 2 minutes. If you got that email, hopefully you read the email. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone to the forum. Some of you, I think many of you, also watched a video that I linked to from there, a 10-minute video that explained this whole idea. I don't want to assume that, so I'll summarize the whole thing basically in 1 minute or 2 minutes. I think that the reason that we launched Idealist, 30 years ago, was because I think in my case, my whole life, I have felt, and I think many of you feel this way, that the world could and should be better, street by street, place by place. Things could and should be much better. I think those of us who feel that way are correct. We're right. Things can be better. And I think we, in some cases, know that for two very simple sort of facts, I think, that are easy to point to. One, if we're old enough, we've all seen one street, one school, one city get better. It's possible. And so if one street or one city or one school or one country can get better, clearly many things can get better. It's totally possible for things to improve dramatically over time. So that's one thing. Second, I think most of us have been lucky at some point in our life to be part of a group that was given a good thing to do, a task, a team that was given something to do, and just unleashed creatively to do something cool. And we all know how that feels. If you combine those two things, of course, we can do much more good together. The question, of course, is then how. And so one idea that we have come up with to get something bigger going is this concept of once a month, at least once a month, let's all do one good thing together for the world around us. We found, a few years ago, so landed this idea that there are these dates that work all over the world, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, etc. They're memorable. They work everywhere. No one has grabbed them, so why not? Let's grab them and use them and call them Idealist days and sort of go from there. The idea is to start and then build upon that. These monthly days are not necessarily days of service, although service action, of course, we can do that. Not everything fits in one day. The idea is that every day we could be doing some good things or many good things. Once a month, let's celebrate that. Let's spark that. Let's start more of that. Let's actually be a day about that so that throughout the month and throughout the year, much more good can happen. And again, longer term, that if we can start something rolling month by month by month by month, more good can happen. Groups can be created around that. A whole ecosystem can flower around that. That's the basic idea. I hope that sort of makes sense. I hope that's why you're here. I hope that's what you understood from my email. Tenny, I can see you on the screen. It is late outside where you are. It's nighttime. Thank you for being here, even though it is late. So that is the basic idea. Now, once we started experimenting with this a few years ago, both in New York and other places in small sort of ways, doing all kinds of things during these days. And we thought, how do we do this in a bigger way? So I'm gonna shut my email down because it's making me a little bit crazy and it makes noise. Okay, email is done. So how do you do this in a bigger way at scale? And we landed on two ideas. One was that when you're thinking about this month by month, 1 or 2 or 3 weeks at a time, it's always a couple of weeks away, the next one. And it's hard to plan and do something bigger when it's always just 2 or 3 weeks away. So one simple idea that we had was let's plan 3 or 4 months out. Let's say, 5 arbitrarily, 3 months out. That way we can plan, get organized, invite you. And a really important thing, I think, is that when you talk to institutions, businesses, organizations, schools, they need time to plan, to decide. It's you tell someone, hey, tell your boss if you guys can do this. Well, let me talk to my boss. My boss will get back to me. She'll talk to her boss. Stuff takes time. And so giving people a couple of months, 2 or 3 months to plan felt useful. So that was the first thing. The second thing was that we started thinking and talking to people, and people still felt, yes, I can do a thing, but what should I do? And so it felt like proposing a theme of some sort, just a basic place to start, felt useful. And so we landed on this idea that every day in the world starts in the morning. In the morning, we wake up, we sometimes have some coffee, some tea. We start our day with some sort of breakfast. And so we landed on this idea of a global community breakfast on 5/5 as a way to start the day. Then things expand a bit from there in a couple of different directions. One is to make it clear to everyone that if we want to do that, that everything counts. I'll show you in a second what that means. So it can be a big event. 1,000 people can have a picnic somewhere. Someone's organizing a very big picnic right now in the University of Lagos in Nigeria. It can be as small and as personal as one person taking a photo of their hand with, a cup of tea or coffee and just posting that. Imagine that you are alone somewhere, maybe in a repressive regime. Maybe you can't get together with other people. Just post a photo of yourself having breakfast with your family if you want, even better. But it can be as simple as that. Anyone with a phone anywhere can participate, all the way to a bigger event. So that was the first sort of tweak. Second tweak was that we're 24-hour diner. If the morning doesn't work, evening is fine too, lunch is fine too. But this theme of beginning the day together over 24 hours will be here online as well. We'll talk about more of that in a second. I think it's been a long day. I forgot a couple of things that I wanted to say at the beginning around expectations and how we can work together. You signed up, you gave us your email. That's how I got in touch with you. An amazing 85% of you give us your phone number, which is stunning to me. 85% of all of you trusted us with your phone number. And so we can also do, WhatsApp sort of communication to you from here. Half of you also gave us your LinkedIn. A bunch of you already found me there, which is wonderful. And so we'll be in touch by email, through the web, by Zoom, by email, by WhatsApp, by LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever we can use. Locally, also other things like Slack and other tools that we have. We'll talk about that more in a moment. So that's one thing to say. We'll be in touch using multiple mechanisms to be in touch back and forth and also between us. The second thing is just to be very clear about what we cannot do. It's a very big idea. We're not a huge organization. I've gotten emails over the past week and messages from people on LinkedIn asking us for a job, a visa to the US and to come here, and also in some cases, financial assistance. I wish that I could give everyone a visa. I wish that I could send everyone a grant. I wish that I could hire all of you. We can't. We just can't do that. And I hope that's sort of understandable to people. And I hope people, we simply cannot do it. We can get people together. We can give resources. We can, create more action, but we can't hire everyone or support everyone financially or bring everyone to meet together in one place at the same time for now. So that's having said that, let me go back to this basic idea of what we're trying to do, and then we'll open up for, again, conversation questions that people may have. So let me share my screen for 1 second to make sure that I'm saying what I wanted to say. I think so. One last thing before I start here, go there, is that sorry, let me find myself. Where am I? Ami, where are you? I think I'm there. I don't know. Sorry, first of all, let me share my screen. It'll be easier. I'm sharing. Am I sharing? Can you see that it says that? Yes, I'm sharing. I'm going to see all of you again, and I'm going to go back here so I can actually, wait, where is this? Oh, here we are. Okay. So one last thing that you'll see, and so you'll see in the chat in a second, one really important thing that emerged this week that was clear was going to happen was that the most urgent thing we need to do, and we'll basically solve this by next week, we promise you, we're sort of on it, is that people very much want to meet locally. We're talking to you from here, but there are 5 people in Seattle who want to meet there. There are people in Nairobi that want to meet in Nairobi. And so we have to group ourselves locally. And it's not a simple problem. We can't just email all of you. We can't send you the 8,000 emails and have all of you figure it out. That's not going to work for people's privacy. And it's also just would be a mess. And so we'll find a way over the next week to create local groups that can come together and that can meet up using whatever local technology people want to use. But the first thing is to group ourselves locally, and that will happen next. So one thing that has been happening in the chat, don't try to use the chat today to just put out your phone number or your LinkedIn. That's not a good mechanism. It's not a good use of this chat to try to find people to call you on the phone right now. We'll figure it out together, okay? So back to this presentation. So basically imagining what we're trying to do next. As I said, we try to find something that could work everywhere easily, that could strengthen local connections and nurture local connections between people where they are, while also, I think, sharing and celebrating and seeing and showing our shared humanity. One of the worst things that's happening in the world right now is that in many places, we're told by whoever that those people over there are bad people. They're not like us. They can't be trusted. They don't have our values, etc. And so it would be wonderful if we could actually see that that is not true, that people everywhere, that there are people everywhere who are as wonderful as we would like to be, and to actually show that around the world. And we want this to be also easy and beautiful. So that's how we landed on this basic idea that I think many of you saw of a global, what we're calling a global community breakfast. When you signed up for this, many of you also went to this page. This is a simple page that we created in a tool called Luma. It's a beautiful piece of software that we're not related to. We're just using it because it's very easy. And the idea for this event, what you can see here, is just one page to say, let's do this. The photo there, I think, shows the fact that sort of everything can count, as simple as a family sharing a breakfast and showing themselves. I think my wife would be okay for me to say that this is actually my two daughters, my wife, and my mother-in-law. That's their hands in Spain last summer. And they're saying hello from there. So this shows that it can be sort of anything. On this page, all we're trying to do is gather everyone in one place to be able to be in touch and to also have an online event that day, the whole day. But the idea, of course, is it's not supposed to be an online date. This is just showing interest here. And then we'll do this locally wherever we can. But if you have not been on this page, it's simply luma.com/idealistday55. My colleague Matthew can share that with you in the chat. And you can sign up there for updates about this. So one example of what it can be is as simple as that photo. Very different example is in New York that day at 6 a.m. in the morning. We thought, Matthew and I and some other people here in the office, we thought if we're asking people around the world to do this, then we should lead by example. What can we do? And so I thought for a very long time that I would love to see the city at sunrise from that bridge. So we'll get together, whoever wants to come, whoever is in New York, at 6 a.m. that morning on the Brooklyn side, and we'll walk to Manhattan and have some tables with coffee and tea and bagels on the other side, and we'll take it from there. But this is just an example of what this can be that day. Everything from some hands together all the way to crossing a big bridge and going from there. So with those examples as sort of parentheses, I want to share with you a few more ideas of what this sort of breakfast and or breakfast plus can be. Again, just as a way of launching this thing and imagining more on 6.6, more on 7.7, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, the idea is to basically focus on starting this thing together. So a few ideas, some I think fairly sort of obvious ones. The point here, I'll share a few with you. And the point is that you find at least one, hopefully more, where you feel, I could do that. I could easily do that. That would be fun, meaningful, joyful to me. And if each of us can imagine one thing that we can do, then the whole, mosaic can be wonderful. So again, starting from the, I think, obvious thing that comes to mind when people hear community breakfast, simply getting together with some new or some longtime neighbors, sharing a moment together, sharing a moment of beauty, of community, of connection, telling them that this is happening around the world, maybe opening up the phone or the computer and logging into a situation like this, where instead of seeing faces, you will see groups of people around the world doing wonderful things together all over at the same time, over 24 hours. The thing about neighbors that's interesting, looking at your faces here, is that in some countries, people may not know their neighbors. I admit I don't know my neighbors. I live in a building with 8 apartments, and I think I know one neighbor. I don't know the others. It's time I did that. For some of you, I'm looking at your faces. It's insane that somebody would not know their neighbor. Like, what do you mean you don't know your neighbor? How is that even possible that you don't know your neighbors? Of course you know your neighbors. So this varies by country and by culture. But if you don't know your neighbors, that'd be a good day to say hello. It's time that we met. Professionally, I think all over the world, in every city and town, there are groups that meet based on their professional interests. They meet once in a while. There are also groups that should be meeting, but have never met. And there are people in those groups who think, maybe it's time for all the X in our city to meet for the first time and network and support each other, maybe bring a speaker. So if that's been in your mind for a while and you've been basically postponing the idea, what if all the artists, what if all the nurses, what if all the doctors in our city met once in a while? That'd be a good day to do it. It's an excuse. Use that day to say, you know what? I'm not crazy. It's not just me. It's happening around the world. Come, let's meet. Let's greet each other. And if we want, let's bring an inspiring speaker that we know or not. If you've been thinking, if anyone's been thinking of starting something new, a neighborhood association, a giving circle where people get together and give some money and then do it together, why not launch it that day? One thing that I love, in every institution organization, very often there is someone who should be thanked and honored for all the work they do for all of us. And we often don't thank them enough. A few months ago, actually a couple of years ago, there's a doorman that is at the lobby of this building, this office building, and he's just fantastic. And one day we all lined up around the elevator door and just called the elevator, and then he came up and we all just clapped for him because he's just wonderful. And people don't do that enough. We all don't do that enough. So if there's someone like that where you work, or if you've been on an online group forever and you think back, and have we ever actually thanked the founder, the moderator, for everything she does for us? That'd be a good way to do it that day. Switching, subjects here, again, different examples. If you work for a nonprofit, for an NGO of any kind, maybe that day host an open house for your nonprofit, your organization, invite people to come in and see what you do, volunteers, donors, the public, do it outside, do it inside. Some people have a personality. My friend here, Matthew, my colleague, does that once in a while. Just take a table outside in a street, in a plaza, in a park, put out some coffee, put out some cookies, and talk to people walking by and just put them on camera if they want about what they're concerned about, what they would like to do in the world, in their community, and how they would like to do it. You can call a group meeting with, little sticky notes, some good questions. Again, neighbors, colleagues, plan for a bigger project. Use that day for planning, if not for doing. And then again, switching a little bit on the tone, collect a group of people, go for a run, a hike, a bike ride, whatever it is, something joyful and good. Again, knowing that it's happening in other places, dance, exercise, whatever you want. Visit maybe a senior center where older people live, have breakfast with them, make their day, make them laugh. The same thing with the school, go talk to the kids about what they want to do in the world out there. Maybe ask your workplace to let you go out and do that day. Serve food somewhere at a shelter, at a soup kitchen. And again, lastly, this kind of thing, a cleanup, of a beach, a river, a street, a park, paint a mural, plant a tree. Someone wrote yesterday from Nigeria, he wants to gather his whole village and go to the edge of the village where the Sahara is coming in. The desert is sort of invading the village, and go plant lines of trees to stop that. So he's thinking of doing that in May. Why not? Some people just might want to play a game or something bigger than that. And of course, we can raise money for a local cause that we believe in and sort of give it together. And then just to close this whole list, if as a result of doing all this, we can help just one person where you are or anywhere, someone who's wanting to do something for a while, move from intention to action and actually do it, that in itself would be a great achievement. And then lastly, please take a photo. Take a photo so we can share, we can see, we can inspire each other about what we want to do next. So that's a basic idea for this piece, for how we actually started. I'll stop sharing in 1 second, in 1 second. Say a couple more things, and then we'll look at any questions. If listening to all this, you've had any questions, thoughts, things you'd like to hear more about, now will be the time to use the Q&A at the bottom. Please write them there so then we can talk about them together. But again, taking a step back for a second, the idea here is that we're inviting many people around the world. This is just a start. We just wrote you for the first time last Thursday. We wrote the individuals that use Idealist. We haven't written the nonprofits yet, the NGOs. We wanted to be able to tell them, we're not alone. This is happening around the world. Please join us with your organization, with your people, and let's make something happen together. So that's going to happen next week or two. And also reaching out to bigger entities, bigger institutions, universities, schools, etc., to get them all involved. We'll create examples together of what we can do. We'll create a press kit. We'll give you, things to get the word out. And we'll use this tool that I showed earlier, Luma. If you go to luma.com/calendar, just that page, you'll see that you can create a calendar of many, many events there. And if any one of you creates an event anywhere, you can submit it to that calendar and we can all see it together. And so in totality, we're all together promoting everything that we all do everywhere. Last thing on these examples, regardless of what people want to do, we're going to ask everyone everywhere to do 3, I think, fairly simple and fairly, hopefully, obvious things. One is, if you convene people, wherever you are, invite people, please tell them what is going on. Tell them this is part of something bigger. It'd be pretty sort of it'd be a waste to invite 10 neighbors and have a wonderful breakfast together and get to know each other and just forget to tell them that this is actually happening around the world and that this is a thing that we're trying to build together. And so please tell them either as part of the invitation or during the event or after, or again, open a screen and show this around the world, but tell them what's going on. That's one. Second or third, at the end, we'll ask you to just let us know what happened, whether publicly or, to us. Let us know what happened, send a photo, post a photo on social media, tag the whole thing so we can invite more people. Sometime in the middle, please ask all your guests, if they don't mind, to get their phone out and take a photo of what's happening. And then take 2 minutes right there to go on, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, and tell everyone they know to join us on 6/6, to join each other, so even more can happen, right? So that's a way to do this. So I think I'll stop for a second. Let me see what is happening in the Q&A. Where do we post these photos? We will tell you, we'll give you some places to post and also hashtags to use. Already on LinkedIn now, some people are using LinkedIn, I think already this time this week. People are going on LinkedIn, those of you who use LinkedIn, they're using LinkedIn in creative ways. They're basically saying that they're adding a new job to their experience by saying they're volunteering with Idealist to basically make this happen, which is nice. And you can tag, etc. So let's see. So, okay, somebody's asking, we know what these achievements do from humanity perspective. What is the statement that we would like this effort to move from a political standpoint? It depends what you mean by that. We don't want to get into party politics. We're not about supporting or opposing. We're all over the world, 200 countries, so many situations, so many governments, so many policies, so many political situations. So this is not about opposing or supporting one candidate or one party or one politician or one viewpoint. It's about doing whatever we can for more dignity, more freedom for more people, with generosity, with respect, but we're not taking sides on specific issues because we'll go crazy. There are tens of thousands of issues, and so we can't have that. I think people locally can do that. We are not going to. Okay, Sherry, thank you. I'm going to organize an Herbalist Without Borders 50 global chapter around the world. Oh my God. Okay, a community tea tasting. You just made my day. Thank you so much. We have members in 23 countries, and this will be a global breakfast tea. Okay, what can I say to that? I think we should just close the meeting here. Thank you, 54 countries right there. What are the ways to unite students in high school? We've actually received a bunch of messages from high school students so far. Actually, not just here, why in Afghanistan, why in Iraq, why in Iran. People want to get involved. Idealist usually is not at the high school level, but we can try to reach them together over the next few months. Do we have a standard communication? We'll produce standard communication that we can, that's why we're taking, the next few weeks. A certificate. Somebody says, can you get a certificate for participating from Idealist? We are not going to give formal certificates. You can make yourself any certificate you want. Honestly, if you want to put anything in your resume, your CV, on your LinkedIn that says that you helped this happen, please go for it. We're not going to hand people, diplomas. We can't really do that. But please say about yourself. The more you do, the more you can say. And so that will be wonderful. Let me see. What else? Are you guys still with me? You are here, Lisa. I have a female, so this is actually in the chat. Let me see if there's anything in the chat. A female a cappella group into an assisted living location. You guys are gonna start making me, you're gonna make me cry. This is not fair. Lisa says, I want to take a cappella group to take them to an assisted living location and sing at breakfast to raise money for cancer. This is wonderful. Thank you so much. That would be like the perfect example of everything coming together. Thank you for that. One thing that's going to happen, I think, is that as we move forward, more of you are going to inspire more of you with things that we didn't think about. This week, someone came in from Nepal, from Kathmandu, and said that he decided that on 5/5, he's going to walk 55 kilometers around the mountains to basically get the word out. I'm like, okay, you do it, man. That sounds cool to me. But 55, I'm not sure he can do it on 66 and 77, but 55 kilometers sounds doable. Go for it. Let me think what else. I don't know. That's a basic thing. Is it more or less clear? Are you guys we're gonna do like a little poll like this? What are you gonna say? We bear with us a little bit. As I said, we started in this big way last Thursday. Some of you have known this for a long time, but we started this big way last Thursday. Next week is about a bit more clarity, putting all of this on the Idealist homepage so you can refer people to one place, having this kind of frequently asked questions answer there, materials, being able to get together the calendar, all of that will happen over the next few days. And then we can all go from there and better and keep inspiring each other in any way that we possibly can. But let me stop for a second. I think I've said enough. Oh, sorry, 7 more questions. One sec. Let me just, no, actually, could we add Signal communications options? Yes, we'll use Signal as well. Ingrid, this will all be up to each of you what you want to use, but we'll have every kind of communications that we can. And then anything else in the chat? No, I think this is it for now. So let me, if anyone wants to basically say something about how you're, feeling about all this, add a comment. Again, if we can just like stay focused on this piece of what we're doing and try to do together, and not, the state of the world at large. Otherwise, we'll get lost. But if anyone wants to sort of, say how you feel now, if you have a specific question, where you are in the world. I might start off by picking on my friend Michael Salomon just because he's there and he's super handsome somewhere in his house and he's known us for a while. And maybe Michael wants to say something. I don't know. Michael, you want to say something? You're going to be given the mic in a second.
Okay, got the mic. It's so exciting to be here at the beginning of this. I think we all get to call ourselves Idealist Day co-founders. Is that right? See, whoever asked for a certificate, there's nothing better than a title like that. I just wanted to say to Lisa Silver, there's this great organization called Musicians on Call, which is part of the reason I'm here today, to figure out how we get that organization involved in this activity. So really nice to see that, and really nice to see so many people coming out from so many places to help make this all better, because we could use a lot more better. I think that's the one thing we can all agree on.
Thank you, Michael. This idea of being Idealist co-founders, I may make the same promise to you on when we had the first meeting on this first meeting, there were 300 people on Tuesday morning. And I told them that, Zoom tells us who showed up for the meeting. So I have a list, we have an email list of all of you showing up for this meeting. So I told them, you know what? Let's agree that on February 10th, 2027 at 10 a.m., we all get together again and see what we did for a year. So maybe we'll do the same thing with everyone who attended this week. We'll send you all an email that says, hey, let's put it on your calendar, February this week in a year. Let's get together, the Idealist Day co-founders, and see what we achieved this year and look back together on what we did. That would be that'd be fun. Okay, who else wants to say hello? Sherry, yes, herbalists.
Thank you very much for organizing this. This is so exciting. I do have a quick question. Will we be able to use the Idealist logo on our own promotional stuff that we put together? And if we need approval, who do we send it to?
No, let me try to share something with you if I can. Give me 1 second, Lisa. I'm going to. Can I find this? I'm sorry, I'm being bad here. Let me see if I can do this. Let me just share my screen for 1 second. Okay, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to find the link. I'm sorry. If you go to, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find.
I just put a link in the chat if you want to click on it. It's on our website. We have a spot for getting involved, and there's a link to logos that you can use if you want to peruse them there.
Thank you.
That was my long answer, Sherry. The short answer is yes. Basically, when we started experimenting with this, yes with exclamation mark, we started experimenting with this a few years ago, right before COVID. And it started off with some people actually in the Ukraine before the war. They took a photo of themselves doing a peace vigil, and they had a logo that they took, and they asked us if they could use it. And at first, we're like, wait, you want to use our logo? And then said, you know what? It's no longer our logo, it's your logo. Please do whatever you want with it. And then people went and took it, and I think you can see it there, maybe in the link that Matthew shared. Let me see what he shared. Let me go to the bottom there just to make sure I'm talking about the same thing.
I love the creativity.
Yes, and so if you go there, let me go there for 1 second. I want to make sure I can't open the window. Anyway, you see this huge collage, right, where people basically have made whatever they wanted, and you absolutely do not need permission. It is your logo. Do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
There's some basic guidelines there about not flipping over. It just looks bad. But anyway, it is your logo, and it's one way I think of just showing that we're, that we're sort of here. And people seem to like it. You can make earrings. You can do whatever you want. Go for it.
Awesome. Thank you.
You. Anybody else? Anything? Anyone? Don't have to. Let's see. It is so interesting. We've had 5 meetings, and it's funny how this is the 5th meeting. Every meeting develops its own personality. It's very interesting. So this is the shy, quiet meeting. It is so interesting. So every meeting has its own personality. You guys are smiling a lot, which is wonderful. But
I have a Ami, while we're waiting for people to raise their hand if they're interested, I have a slideshow of some different images of people using the logo. Would you like me to share that?
Sure.
All right, so here's some examples just of people that have used the logo over time in thumbnails. I'm just gonna kind of like scrub through really quickly. It's quite amazing people's ingenuity and what they've thought about in incorporating the logo into their actions. So yeah, many different ways of showing that you're part of it.
And again, I think that some people, this is not, the word idealist doesn't have to be there. It can be there if you want. It can illustrate anything you want. Again, it's just, I think, one way of basically saying, hey, I'm here. Catherine from Acquaint, I cannot help but notice that you have company. What can we hear her, or it's being too rambunctious? Okay, maybe not. Anyway, so yeah, so thank you all for being here and smiling. We can open this a little bit longer if people want to. Let me see if there's any other question there. If not, there's 2 things that we like doing at the end. Kara, great. Somebody is as we're thinking about 5/5, should we think ahead for other months? Please, yes. So somebody's saying, I've talked to my brother about a neighborhood cleanup in a neighborhood. I have so many ideas. Yes, please, 667788. On we go. So we will do that, and we'll go sort of from there. 1 second. Sorry, Apana, just one sec. The one thing I want to add about that I forgot. Sorry, it's been a long day. Is that if we want this to keep going over time, and if we want people to look forward to the next one, then I think fun and having fun is a really, really important element. It can't just be about the problems of the world. It can't be heavy. It can't be sad. Yes, those problems matter, but it can't just be that. So, for example, in New York, when we crossed the bridge that morning, crossing the bridge is not going to solve poverty in New York. It's not going to do that, but it's going to make a whole bunch of people feel great and feel more optimistic, and they'll go to work and they'll tell people about what happened, and that day we'll do many other things. And so, yes, feeding people, building things, cleaning things, protesting against things that we don't like, it's all important. We'll do all of that. It's also important that as people look to the next month, people don't feel, oh my God, that horrible day is coming where they'll ask me to do things, and where do I hide? That would not be a good thing. It's more that day is coming where all kinds of joyful, surprising, interesting, fun things happen every month. And we see incredible global creativity and solidarity. It's a thing to look forward to. And that means that as we think of what to do, think of things that are creative problem solving, but also think of things that are just fun. And that's okay. If you have always wanted to go out at 3 a.m. and ride around your city on a bicycle at night, but haven't felt safe, great. Get 10 more people and ride your bike at 3 a.m. around the city, because why not? And that's important as well. Okay. So Apana, I know you I think participated yesterday. Let's just start for a second with Camila and Tenny, and then we'll come back. Okay. Just 1 second. Camila, go for it. If you can tell us where you are, even better.
Hi, Amy. Yes, hi everyone. I'm Camila. I'm in Miami, Florida. I just wanted to say thank you, for opening the space and holding the space for everyone to come together. And it's interesting how we come together in strange ways and by synchronicity and by believing the same cause and trying to build something better together. I was trying to do something similar with a group in Miami, and that came spontaneously with the community. It was not my idea, it was everyone's idea. And just to bring people together with the idea of diversity. And 2 or 3 days after, or 2 days after, I received your email saying that you were organizing that. So it's nice to see how everything comes together. Thank you.
Thank you, Camila. And I think one of the things there, I think, is that sometimes people want to do something, they're waiting almost to be invited. And in some cases, I know this is true for me, they want to not feel weird, to not feel crazy, to basically go out and say, hey, we'll do this thing. And I'm not the only one. It's happening everywhere. It's okay. Don't look at me strange. It's happening in many places. Let's do this together. It's easier to propose something when you can tell other people that this is happening as well. Tenny, you wanted to say something before, but then you lowered your hand maybe. Do you want to say something? I can see you there in the dark behind you. Do you want to say something? We can give you the mic. Don't be shy. Let's see, Matthew. Tenny, you want to say something or not? Yes or no? Can you see us? Yes, go for it. Let's see if Matthew gives you the mic. There you go. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
My name is Tenny, and I'm a student, so I'm very, very excited to be part of this organization. And so I'm particularly interested in sustainable agribusiness, which I've been trying to take some steps here. And there's a lot of students that they actually have a lot of ideas, but they don't know where to start from and where to begin from. So I I somehow don't know how to maybe any volunteer job, because I've already started some, like helping small scale farmers to organize their business, introduce ICT technologies to mitigate risk and other stuff like that. So
Thank you so much. Tenny, did
that's
you say Nigeria or Niger?
yes, Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much for being there. Again, I know because we just want to try to let everyone speak for a second. Does anyone else wants to speak before Alpana, who I think was with us, I think also yesterday, if anyone wants to say anything before? And if not, Chris Masto, go ahead.
Hey everyone, this is Chris from San Francisco. It's good to see you. Great to hear all of the enthusiasm from all around the world for doing something new and good, and getting community together. I just wanted to react. I saw one question, and forgive me if I missed a comment on it, but in the chat about someone just saying, where can I get ideas for volunteering? And it just struck me again. It's worth calling out that within the Idealist platform, this is a wonderful resource to learn all about so many community organizations that are out there, that maybe help people explore if they're looking for ideas of an organization to bring a bunch of people together with. There's a wonderful directory, which you can search across different cause areas and locations, and a whole lot of existing volunteering needs that these organizations have put out there in the world. So just as people are brainstorming for what to do in the moment, that's at least one resource that to make sure people are familiar with, which already exists on the Idealist platform. But very exciting to see all of this group's enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. And then, yes, just to sort of, reiterate that as of now, we haven't written those organizations yet. We haven't invited them yet. We wanted to have at least some of us here before. But our basic message to all of these nonprofits that are looking for volunteers and looking for things to do and looking for is just basically say, look, as a metaphor, as an analogy, we're going to invite the whole world to eat. You own the restaurant. I mean, offer people things to do that day. If you're looking for people make sure you have things for them. So we're going to try to bring people to you. Also, as nonprofits, you have ideas. You have ideas that have worked in your community. You know what has worked. Let's find them all and spread them all, right? So if you say, we've done this in the past here, it's worked really well, great. Let's get that word out to many other people. So thank you, Chris. And then Alpana, I think, yes, go for it. And then I think we'll start ending.
Yeah, as I said, I do like nationally we do this, and last year also I did that. And that topic was democracy is not on sale. This year we are choosing different topics, but the intention here is to bring people together and know them at the zero level. You know, you don't have to be an expert to be there. Even if you are a zero, you know nothing about democracy, you know nothing what to do and what not to do, you still can join there. So that is the goal. And in that, before we start or after we end the presentation, I always ask, what are the ways to release stress? How do you release stress? Everybody gives there. I do biking. Somebody says, I do gardening. I do gardening. There are people who do painting and all that. They express their inner self. And we really feel good that this is the place where they're expressing their original, what they want to do. But and with that, they add, we don't want violence. We don't want, um, a fear. And then again, the next question that we ask is, we also want to know what people want to see in this country. What do you want to see? Are you fearful? The answer is, we are very fearful. We are worried about our kids. Yeah, that's it. So
Thank you so
not
much.
at all, just jumping at the level of, what I want to say, but I just want to hear from them how many percentage of people are fearful, and 50% of the people, and they're innocent. They're not criminals. They're innocent. They've been manipulated by someone to do, because middle class, and how can we connect at this platform? The
That's what
thing that you're doing, how can, and I want to do it in the US. I'm already doing. How can we connect together?
Yep, that's the next goal. So thank you for that. Evelyn, and then I think, well, Evelyn and Asula. Yes, please, we have time. Go, Evelyn. Where are you? Where are you in the world?
Hello.
Hello.
So I'm Evelyn from Lagos, Nigeria. Excited to be among this great change makers. I am a change maker and a social innovator based in Lagos, Nigeria. And with this great idea, thank you for giving us this platform, Idealist. I can say that through Idealist, I was able to get so many volunteering jobs. And also at the moment, I'm also applying for an internship. And from there, I can also apply for a job, which I'm very grateful for this opportunity. And also, I just want to know the meaning of 5/5. What does that stand for? 5/5, and this what we're about to do. So, and then what change do we intend to have at the end of all this? Thank you.
Yes, let me try to answer that, and then we'll go to Asula, and then so the 5/5 doesn't, I mean, it's simply like we said, we're doing this once a month on the date that happens to work all over the world. In some countries, if you look at the date, 3/7, that is March 7th in the US, but it's July 3rd in other countries. 3/3, 4/4, 5/5 just work everywhere, and they're easy to remember. So that's why we're doing it on those days, just for those simple two reasons. It's easy to remember, it's nice, and it works everywhere. And the final goal is really just to create a system, to create a whole way for many more people to help each other build the kind of world and the kind of community that we want, which is, I think, again, just at the fundamental level, more generosity, more kindness, more freedom, more dignity, more peace, according each to where we can and where we are, with some basic rules around that, and just to make it easier for all of us to do the things that we would like to be doing. And I think hopefully that will become clear over time as we do it. Okay. So thank you for that, Asula. And then I think we have two last things that we'd like to do, but go for it.
All right. Hi, my name is Azula. I'm from New Jersey. And since we're using like symbolic dates like 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, like you said, I was thinking that maybe we could turn it into almost like a number-based challenge, if that makes sense. So that way the impact from each date is like cumulative almost. So like on 1, like everybody commits like 1 act of service, 2, 2, like people can bring like 2 friends to a cafe or something, like 3, 3, like people, I don't know, donate $3 to nonprofits that they're like passionate about, things like that. And that way, like presentation feels like, I guess, simple and more like measurable. So then by the end of the year, you could see like the impact from all the challenges combined, if that makes sense.
Thank you so much, Azula. I love more and more of these ideas will come up, and I think they're all welcome. And together, again, they're all going to add up. So I would just take a second. It's 10 to whatever hour it is where you are. I can't, get used to the fact that I can't say good morning or good evening because we're all sitting in different hours. But thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be in touch. There are two last little things that we like doing at the end of this meeting. One, Matthew will tell you in a second what that is, and then after Matthew, we'll do the last thing. So Matthew, go for it. It is all yours.
What a pleasure to be with you all today. It's just such a wonderful experience. I've been on a lot of these, and every single one is so wonderful in its own way. So thank you. I'm our senior producer here, and so I love all things video and photo and whatnot. And I would love to take a group picture as best we can. So there are lots of fun ways to do that, but feel free to turn on your camera so you can be part of the group picture. That would be great. And then you have all sorts of fun reactions that you can do. There's maybe ones that are built into your computer, like if you do peace signs, there are all sorts of fun things that could happen when you're doing these things. And then at the bottom of your screen, of your Zoom screen, there's the react button where you can make hearts come up around you and send reactions to the stream. So yeah, anything that you want to do there is great. So, well, I see a few more people turning on their cameras. So you have about 5 seconds left to get your cameras on. And then we're going to take a picture in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic.
Tenny, I love this. Last thing for the evening or for the afternoon, to say goodbye, Matt is now going to turn on all of your mics. And so whoever wants to say goodbye, that's going to happen in like a second. When he says it happened, it happened. You can all turn your mic now and say good night, good morning, goodbye. Go for it.
Thank you, Ami.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Take care.
Hi, new friends.
Everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Good
Yeah, guys.
afternoon. Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you,
Thanks so
Ami.
much, Amy. Thanks so much, Matthew.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you,
Steve.
Amy. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Have a good night. Soon.